Anklylosaurus. Who am I? Hi, my name is Archie and I'm an Ankylosaurus. I'm going to introduce you to my family. We are all dinosaurs with armour. My head. I have a flat skull with small horns sticking out of each side. My snout. It looks like a big beak, and I use it to tear up leaves and branches that are as big as me. My belly. It's the only part of my body that isn't protected, so it's my weak point. When I'm attacked, I curl up in a ball to keep it safe. My name. My name means fused lizard or a stiff lizard. They call me this because some of the bones in my skeleton and my tail are fused or stuck together just like the knight's suit of armor. My tail. My tail is really strong. It has a big bony club at the end which I use to defend myself against cruel carnivores. My paws. Because I weigh so much, my paws need to be strong and muscular. Females and other young. Little Ankylosauruses hatch from an egg laid by a mommy Ankylosaurus. Their nests are usually hidden under the sand or under leaves so that nasty predators can find them. How big? Look how big I am compared to a man. Maximum size 1.5 meters tall and 6 meters long. What am I like? I'm not easy to attack, but sometimes carnivores still try. I will show you some of my other features so you can get to know me better. A very special tail. At the end of my tail is made lots of bones that are fused together, so it's just like a big club. It's my secret weapon and I'm really good at throwing it around to fight off angry predators. The last with armor. I was the last armored dinosaur ever live on Earth. That's cheeky. Even my eyelids and cheeks are covered in armor. That means I won't get injured in a fight. I'm a real tough cookie. Like a suit of armor. My shell is a bit of armor that knights used to wear to protect themselves in battle. My skin is covered in a big, solid, bony plates. They are like shields. They are really close together, so that is really difficult for predators' teeth to bite me. Where do I live? Swamps. I lived millions of years ago during the Cretaceous period. The sun was so hot then it never ever snowed. Even at North Pole there was no snow or ice. The high temperatures dried up almost all the water in the rivers and lakes, turning them into a mud. Huge muddy swamps formed and we moved around slowly, always on the look for our food. I was so big and heavy that I needed to eat lots and lots of food. Incredible insects. In the swampy areas where I lived, it was so hot and humid and we had to cool off in the watering holes. These were the perfect places to find amazing insects, such as dragonflies with their extra long wings. Like all prehistoric insects, they were much bigger than the insects you see today. What do I eat? I'm a herbivore, so I eat branches, leaves and roots. Best of all, I like to eat delicious ferns and flowers. I'm so heavy that I can't lift myself up, so I can't reach the higher leaves that other plant-eating dinosaurs eat. So I have to make do with the food that I can find lower down near the ground. So many teeth, but I can't even chew. I have 2 rows of small jagged teeth in my mouth, but I can't use them to chew. I use my teeth to tear up leaves and ferns and then swallow them in smaller pieces. The torn-up leaves and ferns stay in my stomach for a very long time, until I can finally digest them. Excuse me. Dino discoveries. Scientists have found my bones all over the world, apart from in Africa. A dinosaur's life. I move extremely slowly, so I'm always afraid of being attacked by greedy carnivores, but I can defend myself if I'm attacked, or just lift up my tail and strike. Ankylosaurus babies. We don't know if Ankylosaurus babies were born with armor or not, but they definitely had plates and spikes. Even if they did have armor, it wasn't as hard and strong as the grown-ups. Babies needed to stay close to mommy and daddy so they could protect them. When he was courting a female, Ankyllosaurus the male used his tail to fight off other males, a bit like deer do this with the horns today. I move very slowly because my armor makes me extra heavy. Record breakers. I'm the biggest armored dinosaur that ever lived, and I look a bit like a small tank. I have super strong armor that protects me from terrifying dinosaur teeth. The armadillo. The armadillo that is alive today is an armored animal too, but it's a lot smaller than I am, and it doesn't have a tail in the shape of a club like I do. Its enemies are the puma and the jaguar. They're much less frightening than the T-Rex.
My family. I belong to the large Anklylosaurus family. We are all plant eaters and we're all armored. Here are some of my relatives. Each one has its own amazing suit of armor. Panoplosaurus. Its name means completely armored lizard. As well as the armored plated that covered its whole body, it had spikes along its sides. Ankylosaurus. It's the oldest dinosaur that scientists have discovered so far. They can't tell for sure because not many fossils have been found, but they think that the Ankylosaurus might not had a club at the end of its tail. Dracopelta. We do not know much about this dinosaur, except that it was very small and clumsy. Its fossils were uncovered in Portugal. Gargoyleosaurus. It was one of the smallest and oldest armored dinosaurs. It was called gargoyle lizard because it looks a lot like a gargoyle, those funny statues with ugly faces that you see on buildings and churches. Gobisaurus. People say it was one of the largest living tanks. It was named Gobi lizard because scientists came across its bones in the Gobi Desert in Asia. Unlike its relatives, it didn't have an armored skull. Mimorapelta macy. This dinosaur was really small, but it had a spectacular shell with plates, spines, spikes and shields made of bone. Its name means shield of Myget Moor. It is a quarry in North America where they found lots of dinosaur fossils.
A cuddly story. Anky the Brave. One morning, Anky the baby Ankylosaurus woke up so early. He washed his face in the watering hole and then went out with his daddy Archie in search for food. They were walking along the edge of the swamp together. Then suddenly, Anky, who was always very careful to check where he was stepping, noticed some huge footprints in the mud. Which animal could have made them? Anky had never seen anything like them before. "Daddy, come here," he whispered. "Look at these footprints." They were made by a T-Rex, replied his daddy quietly. "Well done, Anky. Now we..." But Archie hadn't even finished speaking when the ground started to shake violently beneath their feet. It was the heavy stomping of the T-Rex that was causing the ground to shake. Anky wanted to run away, but his daddy stopped him. "Keep still," Archie said in a whisper. A moment later, the huge carnivore walked right past them. The T-Rex sniffed the air, looked around, and then stomped off. "He didn't see us," cried Anky after a while when he felt safe. "But if you had moved, he would have chased after you," his daddy explained. "Your armor would have protected you, but it's better to stay away from these giant teeth." "You were very brave, Anky," said his dad proudly. When they got home, Daddy told Anky's mom everything, and she was very proud of him too. But Anky had a sad look on his face because he had been really scared. He didn't want to tell his mommy and daddy that he had been so afraid. But Anka, Anky's sister, noticed that he was sad. She quietly whispered in her mommy's ear because she didn't want to upset his big brother. "Oh, I know what Anky needs. Mommy, he needs a cuddle because he was a very brave boy today." Anky's mommy, Cleo, knew her children well, so she gave Anky a cuddle and a kiss on his snout as well. Then Anky's little sister gave him a kiss on the cheek too. "But now I want one too," laughed Anka, so Mommy gave her a kiss and a cuddle of her own. A colorful story. Hands are for... Children, dinner's ready. Mama, the prehistoric mommy, had everything ready. She had even gathered some lovely ripe berries to have for pudding. and in a giant leaf she had some eggs so she had found in a forest that morning. She had cooked them on the fire. "Yay!" cried the children who had been making mud pies outside their cave. "It's finally dinner time." But Mommy said, "Before you eat, there is something else you have to do, remember? You need to go wash your hands. Go on, run down the stream." "Oh, Mommy," moaned Bobby. And Booba, the little girl, grumbled too. But Mommy was right. Their hands were very dirty. And Papa, their daddy, agreed too. "Go on, if you run as fast as you can, you will be there no time," he said. The two of them soon came back with the clean hands and the whole family ate happily. Then Daddy surprised everyone. "Now run and get your hands dirty again," he said, smiling. "Bobby, you go back to the stream where there was a nice yellow mud. And Booba, you run to the top of the hill when the mud is red. Get your hands as dirty as you possibly can." He didn't have to tell their children twice. When they got back to the cave, they found that Daddy had set the branch on fire to make a torch, and he led them deep into the cave, where it was a lot darker. "Now put your dirty hands on there where the wall is smooth," he explained to the children. And it was brilliant. Bobby left his yellow handprints on the wall, and Booba were red. "They are so beautiful," said Bobby, laughing. "Can we do it again? I know where we can find some amazing grey mud." "You can make as many handprints as you want," Papa replied. And Mommy agreed too. "Clean hands are for eating, and dirty hands are for playing," she said. The end.